Welcome to Unsigned 518. I am here with Girl Love. Hello.
Hi there.
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well. I'm feeling that end of winter grip, like kind of loosening up a little bit. And yesterday there was some sun. We were above freezing for the first time in a while, so I'm fantastic.
I saw some birds.
You saw birds? Wow.
Yes.
I heard birds. That's about
That's
as far as I got. But that was good. But yeah, feeling good. So we're not here to talk about my hatred of winter and desire for spring. We're here to talk about you and your music. So before we got rolling, I did preface that we were going to kind of go back and have you tell the story. So I guess this is the point in the show when I kind of hand it over to you.
Sure, yeah. So I was raised by a pair of folk musicians, actually. I got started with music singing in the church, and I was up there on the stage with a microphone at 4 years old singing "God Is My Best Friend." But I started writing and performing my own music at the age of 15, and that's when it really started for me. And now, 15 years later, I'm still doing that.
And you've been very active in the music scene. I mean, I've been in, I guess, like the scene for like 3 or 4 years now, but it's like just in like the last year and a half, I've seen your name pop up in so many things. Is it?
Yeah, I've been taking it more seriously lately.
Yeah. And doing very well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, last year I was nominated for my first Eddies, which was really exciting. And I actually I went to a couple NERFAs, and I got a mentor through that's the Northeast Regional Folk Alliance.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I got a mentor, and she asked me to write down my goals, which is something I've never done before. I think it's really important to do now that I've done it. I just see like how writing something down is a way of what's that word? Manifesting it. Yes. Manifesting it and like taking steps towards what you want every day. So that's definitely something that I've been doing, and I'm pleased to hear that it's like sort of working. That's cool.
And it's, something like I'll be 52 in the spring, so like I'm like an old dude, but like back when I was like a teenager playing guitar and writing poetry and writing songs that nobody ever heard. Like, I mean, I literally never, I was fucking 30 something by the time I ever played in front of anybody. Like I just like did it as like what you're saying, as that release.
Yeah.
And it was almost like I just didn't feel the need to play it for anybody, because I'm like, that's not the purpose. So like, I guess with that in mind, like for yourself, how do you balance the almost like business model of music with the soul of music? Like, if that makes sense.
That is a great question. I kind of enjoy that there is that there's a little bit of the side of music that is more meticulous and a little bit less emotional, just because the part of music that is emotional is so deeply and intensely emotional, and so I get very like exhausted by shows and by writing, and I can get a little bit like burnt out by that stuff. So it's kind of nice that there's like, oh, I just need to like send some emails like today. That's all I need to do, Not that it's my full-time gig, but it's like, it's getting to be more and more of what I do. And so the fact that there is more administrative stuff doesn't really bother me. actually.
And do you find like kind of like that same question, like with the social media stuff? Like, do you handle like doing your own social media and your own marketing?
Social media is a whole nother. I don't like the social media. No.
I'm torn because like that's my day job.
Really?
Is social media, and it's funny because before I got into it as a job,
Yeah.
I hated it, and
Sure.
I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't on anything for years, and I have a different relationship with it where I just use it as a marketing tool to get a word out.
Yeah.
And that's all I use it for.
Absolutely.
Like I try not to engage. I try not to I mean, there was a while on Twitter, but that's a whole different story. But like I have my views, and I have my anger about the way things are currently.
Yeah.
But I almost I just don't want to put that fucking hate out there.
Yeah.
Or not hate, but like, so I use it for marketing only. And like, whether it's my music, my podcast, or my day job, I'm just like, I use it almost as a commercial.
That's huge. I think it's so important to have boundaries around social media.
Yeah. And I don't, like, I just block. I tell everybody I just block. Like, if I see, even if it has nothing to do with me, it's not pointed at me.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody in my like social media network or just someone that's on my radar that says some bullshit, I just block them.
I've been doing that too.
Yeah,
personally.
I just block and move on. Whereas like 10 years ago, I probably would have called people out on it,
right? And
that would have led me down and again, ask me about Twitter when we're not recording. Because I got on Twitter and off of Twitter in about a 3-month span.
Oh no.
Because I went from this is fun to I cannot do this is destroying my mental health.
No.
I gotta get out of here. Literally in months.
Yeah, so. I never got on Twitter.
Oh, it was awful.
I never did
it was like everything that I just said, it was like the exact opposite. It was like, I'm just here to stir shit and to say things to get people mad, and and I'm like, oh my god, why is everybody so angry? That was Twitter, and that was pre what it is now. Even then, it was awful.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But if you use it correctly, I think social media can be good.
Yeah.
But it's it's a cesspool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to actively be nope, you're not allowed to interact with me. Nope, you're not allowed to interact with me. So yeah, it's tough. But it's almost kind of necessary. But
it's a necessary sort of evil. If you if you would even go that far to say it's evil, but
I would. And again, I would say it's.
I struggle with the social media side of things just because I know it's a huge component of growth especially for artists like me that are serious about what they do and are moving in the local scene but want to gain traction beyond it. Social media is just such a huge tool for that, but I'm exhausted by it. I just really am.
And I mean, I've even thought of, and it was funny before we got recording. I'm like, I talk a lot, and I told you, but I've even thought of because I do it as a day job, I do it for Metroland as well. I do the social media, and I've gotten it, like I said, to a way where I'm almost blocking out all the crazy stuff and just hyper focusing on one thing and then stepping out. But I've even thought of offering up a service for people that don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? I can either show you how to do it in a way that's almost hands off.
Absolutely.
But I don't know.
I think people would want that for sure.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've been thinking about a Patreon because I think that would be a really good way to engage with people who want to engage with what I'm doing, but it wouldn't be as free for all. I'd be creating content that's a little more curated for my audience. So, yeah,
that'd be cool because then you've got your engaged your people.
That
are gonna want to be hearing exactly what you're putting
Right.
out, and you don't have to worry about the people that
Yeah. I just want to talk to my people. I have a friend who makes art in Texas. She's like a visual artist, and she's been doing really well on Instagram, which is so amazing, and I'm really proud of her. But she gets these she does some, she's a deconstructed Christian, and so she does some satire of Christian media, and she gets death threats and stuff all the time. And I also a lot of my songs have religious imagery and themes, and are using them and bringing those things into a queer space, which is very triggering for people who are not just people who don't have an open mind. And so I just am a little bit wary of success in that area, just the hate that could come with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Again, Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was just a dude. This is long before I was a band or a podcast, and I got fucking death threats.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm I'm just a dude that's
It's just scary.
It's very, very
it.
scary. Yeah. And again, that's why I like doing my show here.
Yeah.
I'm out in the country.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's safe, and I know what's going on.
Yeah.
The world. The older I get, the more I understand people that withdraw from society, because I'm good. I got my half acre, and I'll hang out here and do a podcast from my garage for the rest of my life. I'm totally fine with that. So I think what we want to do is have you play a song, and I am going to blow up your spot here with the story of the forgotten guitar.
Oh.
So normally I would say, oh, you brought your guitar, but about got about 20 minutes away from home, and you're oh shit, I forgot my guitar.
Yep.
Don't worry, I have one, and it's nice because I haven't played that guitar in a long time. So
it's a nice guitar.
I was I really hope it I hope it does the trick.
Yeah, I'm really grateful that you lent it to me, because
Yeah.
I unfortunately forgot mine. This is
I love
it's the first time ever that I've forgotten my guitar.
Right, but see, it makes for a
show
cool
or
story.
Interview or anything. So, but yes,
It's like an Unsigned 518 exclusive.
It is.
But see, now forever, I'm part of the girl love lexicon.
You are.
Someone could be like, "Hey, have you ever forgotten your guitar?" And you can be like, "Yeah, this one time, I did." So, what's the song? The first song that you're gonna play for us?
Yes, the song is called Midwest Sweetheart.
All right, so let's listen to Midwest Sweetheart, Girl Love, live here in the Dazzle Den, and then we'll be right back.
My room is empty again.
this I feel's all mine. Please don't cry, baby. You've done no wrong. No, I'm the one. We fell out of luck, and I feel all used up, trying to be a better me. Oh, than who I was. But I don't know who that is. A Midwest sweetheart tried his best to woo me. A Midwest sweetheart almost got through to me. But Midwest sweetheart, I'm leaving in the morning when light breaks over Indianapolis. Oh, please don't plead. I don't know why right places feel wrong to me. I can't escape these escape fantasies. So I leave, leave, as light breaks over Indianapolis. Dawn breaks over where your house is, where home could be, but I'm without it.
All right, that was Midwest Sweetheart, Girl Love, live here in the Dazzle Den. Now, that one that you just played for us, is that on anything that's currently released?
It is not. It is actually going to be on a release that's coming out this May. It is a live recorded album.
You recorded the whole album live. Where did you record it?
I recorded it at Mount Ida Preservation Hall.
I have heard so many. I think we might have talked about this when I talked to you on the phone for the weekend spot. I've heard so many things about that place.
It's a great space.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the recording of the live album.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So we had, the space itself is like this big church. So it's very echoey and it sounds like a cathedral, really. And so I was standing on the steps and we had lit candles all around me. And then the audience was in pews. It was really cool. It was like this reclaimed religious space. And I played 12 songs. I wasn't sure if I would keep them all just because, you never know what's going to happen live.
Right.
But I just listened back with my engineer, and it went really well. I'm going to keep every song on the album and release it in mid-May.
And is it something when you were recording that, and you knew you were recording a live album going into it, do you leave any room if you needed to do a song over? Do you let the audience in on it, or do you just roll with it and whatever happens, happens?
A little bit of both. So I let them know that I might be doing songs over again. I had to restart a couple songs because I did a wrong word or a wrong chord. But for the most part, I just went all the way through.
I just think as an audience member, that would be, I've never actually been to a recording that I knew was going to be like an album or whatever. But I think like as an audience member, it'd be cool to even hear the different versions of a song, or to to have and then listen to the album and be like, oh, that's take two. I can because I remember, you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
it'd be an interesting like almost like a secret between you and the audience, because if it's not on the album, nobody's gonna know unless they were there.
Absolutely.
I love that little Easter egg. So that's coming out in mid-May, and it's, you said 12 songs.
Yep.
That's quite a feat for.
Yeah.
Now, once you record it, like, or before you go in, I guess, like everything is set up. Like, is it just like a microphone and your guitar, or like what's the?
Yeah, so we had a mic or a direct into my guitar. We had 2 mics that were on the floor. 4 mics that were like in the middle of the room.
Oh wow.
And then 4 mics in the way back of the room. So it's going to be all mixed together to layer and hear like the different, so you can really hear like how it felt in the room.
The like depth of it.
The depth of the room.
That's
yeah.
really cool. Like, as somebody that doesn't know a ton about sound engineering,
Sure.
it's always interesting to find out how they do that, but the levels of it. Wow, that's really neat. And like the Mount Ida Preservation Hall, is that something that's like open to the public?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I know they have a lot of community events, so I would just follow their Instagram page to find out when those are. But I know they have an open mic right now that happens on Monday nights.
Cool. That'd be such a cool place to play, like in that like cathedral style sound. I remember I used to work at a sports center like 25 years ago, and I used to go and play acoustic guitar in the racquetball courts.
Ooh,
and it was the best. I used to be like, it's like playing inside of an amp. Like
that's awesome.
It's unreal. You could like hear every little detail. So I imagine it'd be kind of the same there. That's super cool. So album coming out, 12 songs, all original songs.
Yes.
And we don't have to get into it if you don't want to, but I know you've pointed on like the religious and the bringing it into a queer space. I guess like, how does that, because I'm someone that I've been open. I'm not a religious person. Like I would say I'm an atheist, but that would mean that I care.
Sure.
Like, so I'm just kind of like, I'm not a believer, and I just believe in being a good person.
Totally.
End of story. But like,
yeah.
That transition, I guess you said, growing up like in like a church environment to where you are now, how much does that shape your songwriting?
Oh, it's monumental in my songwriting. The foundation of my worldview came from Christianity, and I learned from Christianity to test everything and keep what is good. And so I've continued to do that. With my new set of values that I've picked up along the way, with believing in community care and believing in accepting people for who they are, which unfortunately were not things that I learned in the church, but things that I picked up from the queer community. So my beliefs now are sort of a meld between the core beliefs of what Christ taught, and then the core beliefs of the queer community.
It's interesting that you can make it work, because like when I think of, and again, I'm coming from like almost like I guess you could say like an ignorant viewpoint of the church, because like the things you said, not finding the acceptance, that to me, like at a very young age, was what made me go, no, it's not for me. Like if no, like So like to be able to find that balance is, I don't know if inspiring is the word, but it's like, it's really cool to be able to have that balance between two what would be considered opposing viewpoints, I guess, in a lot of spaces, not all, but
it's not without pain
right.
that one does such a thing,
I bet.
Yeah, it's difficult to hold both so close, but it's something I'm willing to do.
Well, I applaud you for it. I think it's, like I said, I think it's really cool to have that strength to be able to be like, no, I'm this and I'm this, and
Thanks.
that's how it is. So,
Yeah.
So since you, I was literally just gonna be like, since you brought your guitar, so since my guitar is still here, would you want to play another song for us?
Yes, absolutely. And since we were talking about that, actually, this kind of goes along with that. This is a song about trans rights. It's called Stonewall, and it's very near and dear to my heart, and I hope you enjoy.
All right, so let's hear Stonewall, Girl Love, live here in the Dazzle Den, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up.
They're scorching the ladies in the big wigs, and they're tripping up the feet of the healed men. Yeah, the fuzz broke the law to get into it with the street folk down on Christopher. When her back's against the wall, she starts swinging, 'cause this love ain't wrong, it's just different. And they're taken aback by her raised fist, breaks the world lens with a red brick. Oh, 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 enough, enough, enough. Oh, 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 love is love is love. Now they're passing bills left and right, and they're taking away my siblings' rights. You might think it's just a couple little fights, but it all adds up and comes down to life. Now the states where my friends are scared to live in, 'cause the masses don't think they deserve it. But my message to every trans person is you are worth it and you are worthy. Oh, 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 enough, enough, enough. Oh, 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 love is love is love. Oh, 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 enough, enough, enough. Oh, 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 love is love is Now I can hold hands with my girlfriend. It's because of a generation's courage. Don't forget what a person can accomplish. It takes a single fist to raise a red brick. And as long as there's breath in my body, I will vote for those in my country to protect and uphold the dignity of our sanctity. Give us equality. Oh, 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 enough, enough, enough. Oh, 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 love is love is love. Oh, 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 enough, enough, enough. Oh, 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 love is love is love.
All right, that was Stonewall, Girl Love, here live in the Dazzle Den. And I want to thank you so much for coming out and taking time out of your afternoon to do this, and another like behind the scenes thing. This was our third attempt at doing this interview, because the last two times we got catastrophic snowstorms
We did.
when you were supposed to come up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Mother Nature gave us a chance to do this. So before we go, though, I want to give you a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitude. So the microphone is all yours.
Great. Thank you. Well, going along with this song Stonewall, I just want to acknowledge that the rights that we have as a queer community have stemmed from the brave activism of our trans siblings. And right now in America, we need to stand up for and protect those siblings right now more than ever. So I just want to highlight the Trans Youth Equality Foundation. They are a foundation that is in America that helps with giving micro grants to families that have trans youth to help them move to different states so that they can be live in a state where they can get medical care, as well as states that are more affirming.
Cool. I love that. And I'll link to that. You have a link that I'll put it in the show notes.
Great.
All right. So she is Girl Love. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned518. I'll see you on the road. Unsigned518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.